Greetings, my pupils. Welcome to the last lesson of Chapter 7, Chapter 8, The Wondrous World of Trigonometry. Now, it's a little known fact that before Walt Disney came up with Mickey Mouse, he was actually going to use trig problems to draw cartoons with, but he thought the mouse would be a better way to go. You don't believe me? Don't look it up anywhere because you won't find it. The big question becomes, when do I use what? We have looked at Pythagorean theorem, trigonometry, sine law, cosine law. How do we know when to use which when we're not in the textbook and it's 8.1 sine law, meaning you use nothing but the sine law? Well, first thing you look at is it a right angle triangle? If it's a right angle triangle, then you have the Pythagorean theorem available to you. You have trig ratios available to you, sine, cosine, tangent. If it's not a right angle triangle, then you've got to make some decisions. Now, these are the mathematical ways of looking at things. Do we have two sides and an opposite angle? Do we have two angles and a side? Whatever. We'll look at an easier way of deciding this. These are just the mathematical ways. Now, if you've been following my lessons, you've already seen this side angle side, or the angle sandwich, or having three sides. That tells you when it's to use the cosine law. Now, the easier way of going about it is looking at it. It's a non-right triangle, so there's no 90-degree in there. And what I need is three of two sides and two angles. Now, visually, because you know me, I'm a visual person, I like the X method. Do I have an X? I have one set of values, angle C with side C, and I have angle A with side A. And if I can match those values together, it looks like an X. The second option is the cosine law. Now, there's no real trick here. Either you have that angle sandwich, which is what's displayed here, and we're looking for the third side, or we have three sides and we're looking for an angle. There's no real trick here. For the high school level, our trick is, if it's not sine law, if it's not the X, it's the cosine law. There actually is a tan law, but it is a little bit more complicated than what we're going to get into. In fact, you won't see it at the high school level. So let's test your gray matter. You have a series of triangles on your page, and for those of you who haven't printed the page, it's right here on the electron. It's in front of you. What kind of, which of the laws are you going to use? So for the first one, it's not a right angle triangle, so you're not using cos, sine, or tangent, but we've got that side angle side, so we're using the cosine law. Again, it looks like a 90, not indicated as a 90, so we can't use trig. However, if we're looking for angle B, we don't have that match, but we do have three sides. Okay, this time we do have a 90. We're looking for angle I, tangent. No 90 again. Sine D, once again, I can draw my, oh, I can't. I got no matches. That 10 meters is a lonely, lonely man. All right, or woman, I suppose. It's lonely. So we got a 90 degrees if we're solving for angle Q. In this case, it's cos. Cosine is different than cosine law. Like sine is different than the sine law. I wish they'd gotten a little bit more creative with their naming, but I didn't do it. Again, there's the 90 degrees. If we're looking for side P, which would be here, what would that be? Sine. No 90 degree. No 90 degree. What are we looking for? Side M. Now this one requires 2 steps, but it's still the sine law. All right. Other than that, remember to define your variables and tip your waitresses on the way out. I did like this mathematical proof. It's a little dated now, seeing as how it's 6 years ago. But back in 2014, back in 2012, somebody offered this mathematical proof for why Valentine's Day doesn't exist. I thought it was rather clever. Unfortunately, your homework hasn't been canceled. If you're not sure, draw, draw, draw. I don't know about you. I find pictures are so much easier to deal with than word problems are. All right, guys. Good luck with this. As always, you can email me or text me if you have a question. Otherwise, have at it. Remember to define your variables, and good luck.